Hi beautiful people, you're welcome back to Princess Beyond Passions. This is another video review by yours sincerely. First of all, I would like to say thank you, Rita, for this video. Well, the story you're about to hear happened in Nigeria, but I must say that I have also heard about this kind of story from other African countries and even in the Western world. It happens all over the world. It's just unfortunate that some people fall into this category. Please, let's take a listen to the story.
When I hear some Nigerian parents insist that their children must marry from the same social strata, I used to say, oh, they are discriminatory and they use that they are wicked people and all that at a young age. I never knew what that thing meant until just yesterday. If you want to know a true man, give a man money and power. That's when you know what that man is capable of. Story time. I have this my friend who, while we were growing up, all parents in our area didn't want her around us because she was going against her parents, stealing her parents' money, trying to build a boyfriend, doing all manner of things. The self-contained those days, far back in uni, as far back as 1999 that they rented for her, she was staying with this boyfriend and all that, feeding her boyfriend and everything. And eventually, she got pregnant and she refused to abort this baby and insisted that the parents should allow her marry this young man. Eventually, the Reverend Father, who was in charge of their parish, had to ask her dad to accept the young man. But the father had his reservations about the young man. Until fast forward, this man now puts this young man under his wing, gave him money and power, gave him connections, brought him into politics, gave him every single connection he had today. And then boom, 2020, he got 2 girls pregnant at the same time. We see they talk that one. He turned to domestic violence. He was beating this lady at every little provocation. To the extent that this young man's family turned against him. Whenever he was fighting his wife or beating his wife, or his own family, his mother used to fight him. His mother that gave birth to him used to fight him. His family, his own younger brother had hit him on the head with something sharp just because he was beating his wife in his home. His own family turned against him and they've been supporting his wife. And this lady has been managing this marriage because she's got good in-laws that were supporting her. Fast forward to early this year. Jane has finally filed for divorce because she can't take it anymore. Jane's arm is bent. Her family, they're tired. The father can't believe that a young man he brought under his tutelage, a young man he gave money and power, he gave all the connection, could turn around and turn against his family that way. In fact, when people say, I no go marry person we know they my level, and now I dey understand them. I never understood until the 7th of January 2023. So now, finally, Jane has filed for divorce. This young man has gotten to the extent that Jane had to file for divorce when she woke up from the hitting it hit her head. She became unconscious, and then just for her not to lose her dear life, she has filed for divorce. I just don't get it. As I heard the news yesterday, fear men. You don't know a man until you give him money and power. More wisdom.
Now, when it comes to children and their parents, sometimes children want to, run off or marry a particular person or go into a relationship with a particular person or in a relationship with a particular person. There's a proverb in my community. What an elder sits down to see. When a child climbs a very tall Iroko tree, still that child will not see what that elderly person has seen while sitting down. Right? It means that as a child, before you get to that age where you are now, and you are thinking that you know everything, or that, oh, you're an adult, or this is a modern society we live in, and all that, all those bogadash excuses that children usually give. Before you get to that place, you forget that your parent had been there maybe like 30 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 40 or 50 or 60 years ago, depending on how old your parents are, the number of years that your parents are older than you as a child. You forget that before you even got here, Your parents, this is your parents' past. Your parents have seen this thing way long time ago before you were born. And now they are trying to tell you, oh, don't go in this direction. Well, as parents, we cannot make decisions for our adult children. But sometimes when we talk to adult children, they ought to listen, pay attention, allow them to experiment and make their mistakes. But also, it is advisable for these children to also listen to their parents and make informed decisions, right? So, if your parent had, perhaps this girl's parent had said no initially, and then she insisted, she was sent to school, and then she started living with a boy and all that. She insisted because she thought, oh, okay, now she knew what she was doing and all that stuff. And eventually, the girl's parents decided to sponsor this boy and give him money and power, right? Empower him. There's nothing wrong in empowering a young man who has intentions for your daughter, right? There's nothing wrong in doing that, because you're rather trying to help them and place them on a pedestal in order to help them climb higher, quicker in life, right? But who knows the heart of man? People change. People change. Would she ever have known that it would come to a stage where he would impregnate 2 other women out there and also begin to, abuse her physically? Would she ever have known? Would she ever have thought that this kind of thing would happen? So, children, over to you, and parents, over to you. We advise our children, but it is left for our children, adult children, young children and adult children, to listen to instruction and to make informed decisions. So our last statement is fear men. You don't know a man until you give him money and power. I'd like you to put a comment in the comment section and tell me how true this statement is. Fear men. You don't know a man until you give him money and power. I've heard this same phrase before. You don't know a man until you give him money and power. And different scenarios have led to the people saying that same phrase, the way they said it, the way they put it. And now you have heard this story. Do you have people who have similar experiences? Let's put our heads together. Let's learn. I have experienced it, but I want people to, share their opinions in the comments section. Is it true that you don't know a man? You don't truly know the heart of a man until he has money and power in his hands. Is it true? Men, over to you. Please, I'd like to hear from you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell for more updates. If you like this video, give it a thumb up. I appreciate all of you returning viewers. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.